Over to you, Bankim ji. Let's start.
Namaste. Namaste, one and all. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. I am Bankim Shukla, welcoming you all to International Yoga Festival, an initiative by Dr. Vikas Chauthe and Dr. Swetambari Chauthe, in celebration of 75 years of India's independence. In this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, tune in every Saturday and Sunday at 6 p.m. IST, where renowned yoga and spiritual personalities share their experience and wisdom, and also emerging young leaders of tomorrow of India and the world express their views. So today among us, we have Piyush ji and Shrutika ji among us. So before I hand over the session to them, would request everyone to be in a comfortable sitting position. And we will start with Omkar 3 times and a small prayer, and then we'll hand over the session. So relax yourself wherever you are. You can close your eyes. Have a few breaths. Fold your palms. Yogena chittasya padena vacha malam sharirasya cha vaidyakena yopakarotam pravaram munina patanjalim pranjalira natosmi. Rub your palms. Cover your eyes. Feel the warmth. Open your eyes in the darkness. Increase the gap between the fingers and let the bright light enter into you. Thank you and namaste. So welcome Piyush ji and Shrutika ji. They work for a company named Bookmart. Bookmart is a community of passionate nutritional advisors unified towards helping people recover from lifestyle disorders like obesity, diabetes type 2, fatty liver, thyroid disorders, etc. They are a team of 52 advisors serving people across the globe. They kickstarted our community in August 2019, and in less than 2 years, they have impacted 4,000 plus lives across 18 plus countries. Their core value is spreading good health and improving quality of life. Piyush ji is an IIT BHU graduate, pursuing PhD in liver sciences from IISc. He has been helping people for the last 2 years with the help of functional medicine. Shrutika Yeola is an IIT Roorkee graduate, nutritional advisor at Biomart. She has been helping people to recover from multiple lifestyle issues for the last 3 years and also has specialization in skincare. So welcome Piyush ji, welcome Shrutika ji. We'll hand over the session to you. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Bankim ji. So thank you all for a warm introduction. So first of all, happy Holi to all of you. I hope you guys have played well. बहुत मजा किया होगा, right? Even I expect people logging from other countries as well. They have played very well Holi. Even we are playing Holi for the past 3 days now, and I hope my skin is still clear and you can recognize me as from my photos as well. Cool. So we'll start with our presentation. I hope everybody can see our screen. So
Yes.
thank you. So how we have organized our presentation is based on the responses we have got. So we have, if you remember, we have circulated a form across, and people have. We are thankful that people have taken their efforts out and fill out that form. And based on the responses we have received, we have organized our presentation. And what we are going to cover today in our presentation is the first of all, we want to realize actually what is the mismatch between diet and lifestyle. We want to understand like how far we have come with our diet and where our lifestyle is still yet there. Correct. So that is the first thing, and what this mismatch is leading to. Although if we understand what is a mismatch, we actually want you guys to understand what does this mismatch is leading to. The third thing we want you to help understand is about the lifestyle disorders. There are basically many disorders out there, like basically diabetes, thyroid, PCOD, fatty liver, etc., which needs more focus at the moment, right? So even we are going to touch upon these topics. We're not going to go deep into all the topics because of the time constraints, because even we have to what we want to do at the end is to have a detailed Q&A sessions. So if anybody, like all the people logging should across the, I understand it is also live on Facebook and YouTube. So people logging on or the other platform can drop their questions into the comment section, and we would be happy to take up at the end. So the people who are logged in on the Zoom platform, they can pose the question into the chat section. Okay, and at the end we would also want to understand in order to prevent ourselves from all these lifestyle issues, what should we do? Like suppose a person is fit. Suppose I see Bankimji in my screen. So if he is fit, so how his diet should look like. So we would also be giving some broad picture over that concept. Okay, so let's start. Start understanding by what is a mismatch. So suppose, for example, we compare our lifestyle from across a decade. For example, if we compare the lifestyle in 20th century and 21st century, and let's start by the work culture. So in the 20th century, we understand people were very hardworking. Like people are also hardworking at the moment as well. But in case of 20th century, the work was more kind of laborious work, like pulling cart, even shopkeepers or farmers. They used to work a lot hard. But in the 21st century, because all the technology is there, we are now, so most of people are working online, right? People are logged in. We are also logged in on laptop or mobile phone connected to a internet. We are internet domain. Okay, so our work is sedentary work now. Even the farmers at the moment are working, like even not even working 10%, 10 times, like even 10% hard enough as the farmers in 20th century, because all these technologies, the tractors and all. Correct. Next slide, Shrutika. Yeah, the travel part, right? Earlier we used to hear, right? Probably you might have explained this same kind of scenario to your children, but what we hear कि our parents used to say कि हम लोग तो 7 समुंदर पार करके we have to go to school, colleges, we have to travel a lot for our daily need. We have to go by cycle or by walking, right? And that was in fact true. Earlier days there was no such cars, fancy cars or bikes or public transports as well. People had their cycles, or they used to go by walking everywhere. But nowadays, everybody has a bike. Everybody has some kind of motor vehicle to go around, to roam around, to get something, right? So we are saving our energy a lot. We are saving our energy for working as well. We are saving our energy for transport as well. Next slide, Shrutika. Yeah, even the basic necessities. Earlier, we used to do every household work by hand, like maybe washing clothes, maybe washing your utensil, maybe cooking as well. Nowadays, we have help at our home. Like most of us have help at our home. Like maids come, they cook for them, right? So we have decreased our workload. We have decreased our workload. We have transferred our workload either to electronics or either to some people at our home. And even uh, uh, even suppose like the any kind of activity, even like shopping, for example, we have now app. Big Basket is there, some other kind of apps are there which gets food at our home, right? The groceries at our home. Okay, next slide, Shrutika. the environment, the most important thing, the environment, even the environment has changed a lot. In case of 20th century, the environment was very pure. It was all greeny and rosy out there. The air was clean. But nowadays, like you hear about Delhi every time, right? The pollution index, the air quality has decreased a lot. Researchers are now trying how to improve this air quality. So based on all these changes in the life, our what you say, like our intake has changed. Like for example, like we are not using our energy, we are saving our energy, okay, and we are also not breathing pure quality of air, okay. So these are the something which lifestyle has changed, and we have to also understand, like since the lifestyle has changed, our diet should also change. Next slide, Shrutika. Farming. So when we talk about farming as well, so earlier days farming was just to feed the people in the village or the neighboring village. But now, since nobody wants to go into farming because it is very hectic, people earn very little in that, farming has become commercialized. So farming is to feed the whole city or the whole country, right? So since it is commercialized, people use GMO seed, fertilizers, chemicals to increase the produce, correct? So even the farming has decreased. The farming has changed. I would say it is a modern day farming now. So because of all these, our lifestyle has changed. We are not burning enough energy from our body. But what has not changed exactly is the food, the type of food we eat. Even in 20th century, it was all dal, rice, roti, sabji, and even today it is dal, rice, roti, sabji, and probably even the same quantity as well. So this is what we really want to understand. I'm not we are not focusing on to decrease the amount of food you eat. We're not focusing on to like दो रोटी की जगह एक रोटी खाओ, दो कटोरी दाल की जगह एक कटोरी की दाल खाओ. But we are trying to help you understand कि you should eat good quality of food as well. ठीक है, in the coming slide we'll help you understand as well कि what needs to be changed here. ठीक है. So now we are saying we are having the same amount of food, the same type of food. But what is also changed, the same type of food doesn't contain this enough vitamins and minerals. So for example, if I take such as random numbers, so in our meal today, so like suppose in a meal plate in 20th century, you are getting suppose 100 vitamins and minerals, 100 amount of vitamins and minerals. But nowadays, in the same food even doesn't give a 10 amount of vitamins and minerals. Why this is happening? Because farming has changed. So even the research all over places, it is showing that the quality of soil, the quality of water is also decreasing. The mineral content in the soil is decreasing. So if the mineral content in the soil is decreasing, how can we expect the fruits or vegetables in the fruits, or it is up to the mark, right? So because of all the overuse of these fertilizers and chemicals, it is also impacting our body. And how it is impacting our body, we'll understand in a while. So what does these changes are leading to? It is leading to lifestyle disorder. We are saying, right, we are not burning enough energy. The food pattern is same, but the nutrients, what like the amount of vitamins and minerals they are getting from the food has decreased. It is not just decreasing, but we are also consuming a good amount of chemicals as well. Because for example, you're getting a suppose capsicum from a market. You are washing it off. Why you are washing? Because you want to clear off the dust or the any chemical which is left on over the surface of the fruit or the vegetable. But what is also happening, since while it is growing in the soil, some of these chemicals is also absorbed into the into the fruit or the vegetable, and that we are consuming. Okay, and because of this, there are many issues happening. For example, the first one is oxidative stress. So everybody understands cells. There are cells inside our body, right? People might have also heard about the word mitochondria. ठीक है, बचपन में probably you might have heard कि mitochondria is a powerhouse of the cell, correct? So this mitochondria is a giant biochemical reactor. Our body is also a giant biochemical reactor, and there are many reactions going on inside our body, biochemical reactions going inside our body. And we also understand any reaction or any mechanism is not 100% efficient, correct? So there is some about 1% or 0.1% of inefficiency in our body in any reaction. So this 1%, so in case of our biochemical reactors, so this 1% inefficiency is the free electrons inside our body, inside our cell, in fact. So what happens, these free electrons go and bind to the surface of the cell, and it decreases the whatever I call the functionality of the cell. So the whole functionality of the cell decreases, and it is also called oxidative stress. The cells get oxidatively stressed. Okay, so what we need to understand, we need to improve this oxidative stress inside our body. How do we improve it? We'll see later. Okay, the second thing is hormonal imbalance. So for example, now we are all communicating. How we communicate? Via mouth, via ears, via eyes, via smell, emotions, right? We communicate by such factors. But how does our body communicate within ourselves? Like suppose your lungs has to communicate with your suppose nose, or suppose your stomach or heart, right? How does it communicate? Via these hormonal signals. So there are many hormonal signals such as proteins, enzymes, etc., which are present inside our body, and our body uses this to communicate with each other. But nowadays, what is happening? Just to explain. So because of all these chemicals, pesticides, and all, our hormones are not able to communicate effectively. Assume it is like, suppose I am hiding my camera now. So a little sense of communication is decreased, right? If you see me, a better way of communication is there. But if I hide my camera, you can't see me, and a decreased way of communication is there because you can't see my emotions. Whether I am talking in a serious tone or a funny tone, you might not understand, right? So that is what exactly happens when we are consuming chemicals or pesticides, like good amount of pesticide in our body, or our diet is not in a good structure. Okay, so how do we come away from it? We'll definitely learn in the coming slides. Okay, the third thing, which is a very important thing, is insulin resistance. Okay, you might have heard about insulin. Probably the yoga teachers here might understand what insulin resistance is, but for others, you might have heard insulin in case of diabetes. कि हाँ, insulin करके कुछ होता है, injections होते हैं, shots होते हैं, diabetes people take. So what is basically insulin resistance? So to just explain, so there is a cell. Okay, so when we eat anything, there is a increase in sugar in our body. The blood sugar level increases. So when the blood sugar level increases, what our pancreas says, pancreas secretes insulin. Insulin is a key which pancreas secretes insulin. It binds over to the cell. When it binds to the cell, the sugar level in the blood, it is absorbed within the cell. So this is how a normal cell works. But when our cells become insulin resistant, it means that cells are not responding enough to the insulin which is secreted by the pancreas. So by this, what happens? Not enough sugar, or not all the sugar is absorbed from the blood, and that is why we see there is a rise in blood sugar level in the body. Correct? Because our cells are not absorbing it. Correct? So even this insulin resistance is actually the root cause of all the problems. Not all but the majority of the problems, the root cause is insulin resistance, and it is very important to understand how insulin resistance, how it is coming up and how to solve it. Okay, so how is insulin resistance coming up? So for example, you have a neighbor. Okay, for example, you have a neighbor and it is coming to your door every 10 minutes or 20 minutes to ask something. Probably dahi de do, chini de do, chai patti de do, chai pila do. For example, anything. Or for example, gossip. So what you will do? Yeah, nahi yaar, main nahi hu, abhi main busy hu, main so raha hu. Even though you are awake, or even though you're having something or the other, you will have a reason to not to open your door because it is coming again and again. Similar kind of thing happens with our cell. If you frequently eat anything, your insulin is secreted frequently to your cells, and it is same kind of knocking on the door, and your cells become frustrated. Ki bhai bas ho gaya abhi. Okay, and that is why your cells starts to respond less to the insulin. Okay, and we need to solve this as well. Okay, next slide, Shrutika. Cool. So now we will learn what are the lifestyle disorders, because I have helped you understand about the lifestyle, what is the mismatch between the lifestyle and what the mismatch between our diet and lifestyle, how these things are moving because of these. And now I would like to call up Shrutika, and she would explain about the lifestyle disorders as well and how to solve from it as well. Over to you, Shrutika.
Yeah. So thank you, Piyush. Piyush has beautifully explained, what are the basic things which are happening inside our body: insulin resistance, hormonal imbalance, oxidative stress. So these are the basic root cause for all these major issues. Okay. So I'll cover these major issues in brief, so that you all can understand what is happening inside the body. So PCOD or PCOS is a very alarming situation nowadays. There are many young girls who are suffering from PCOD or PCOS, okay? And they fail to understand that why this is happening. Like if you compare our grandparents, they didn't have these kind of issues at such a small age, or even this issue was not that heard of. But now 1 out of every 5 girls is suffering from PCOD. The reason being the type of diet which we are having, okay? The amount of food which we are having is very energy dense food. Because of this, there is hormonal imbalance which is happening inside our body. So what happens in case of PCOD? In PCOD, the first image shows a normal ovary. This is how a normal ovary looks like. There are follicles which are inside the ovaries, which grow, out of which one becomes an egg, ovulation happens, and rest of those follicles, they again shrink back into the ovary. So there are many follicles which start their growth, but only one gets ovulated and is released out from the ovary, and rest all, they shrink back. But what happens in case of PCOS? In PCOS, because of hormonal imbalance, many follicles start their growth journey. And since the hormones are not responding well, none of these follicles becomes an egg. Ovulation doesn't happen. And since they are neither of them is able to become an egg, others don't get a signal that we have to shrink up. Because of this, these follicles absorb fluid and they are seen as cysts in the ultrasound reports. So whenever girls do ultrasound reports, they can see that it is written in the ultrasound report that there are cysts present in the ovaries. And that is how they say it is polycystic ovary syndrome. The only reason for this is a diet and hormonal imbalance. Once hormones start responding properly, ovaries will get the signal of eggs maturing, becoming ovulation, others shrink up, and this issue can be solved. But because of these two main reasons, like hormonal imbalance and diet, PCOD has become a major issue nowadays in many girls. Next is fatty liver. So earlier you might have seen all the people who used to consume a lot of alcohol, they were suffering from fatty liver. But nowadays, people who don't consume alcohol, even they are suffering from fatty liver. And how this change happened? This change happened because of the type of food which we are eating, the way food is grown nowadays. The chemical fertilizers, pesticides, they affect our liver a lot. Liver is the mother of all organs. All hormones flow in our body through liver. If your liver is good, then your body is very fine from within. But if your liver is only not good, then all the hormones which are traveling through your liver, they get impacted. Okay. So whenever you're consuming food, which is very high on energy, okay, your body has limited capacity to store the glucose, which you're getting from food. Now, when all that glucose is stored up, still you're consuming a lot of glucose. Where will that glucose go? This extra glucose gets converted into fat and gets deposited on your liver. And this is how fatty liver happens. When you are eating a lot of glucose than your body has the storage capacity for. So all the excess glucose gets converted into fat and it is stored in your liver. And from liver, it is transported into fat cells, and that is how people start becoming fat. Now, this fatty liver, when it gets converted into cirrhosis, what is cirrhosis? Since fat is depositing on your liver, when your entire liver gets covered up with fat, then it reaches a stage in which this can't be reversed. So in many cases, people come to know about this early because of, there is huge amount of fat near the belly region. Otherwise, in entire body, that much fat is not there, but around the stomach, belly region, there is huge pot belly kind of thing. So it's a sign that liver is not functioning well. So if these things are just started, it is in stage 1, stage 2, this can be reversed. Till the time it doesn't reaches the stage of cirrhosis, fatty liver can be reversed through diet modification. Okay, so fatty liver is nothing but too much amount of glucose which you are consuming than the body has the storage capacity for. Next is thyroid disorders. There are many people who are suffering from thyroid, and for thyroid and diabetes both, people start taking pills. People take metformin for diabetes, people take Thyronorm for thyroid, and they are taking it for years. I've seen many people who are taking Thyronorm from 10 years, from 15 years, and continuously they are taking. So taking Thyronorm is not the solution for thyroid. It is just controlling the situation from outside. If you want to heal your thyroid from inside, it is very important to understand where the issue is. In thyroid, there are two types of thyroid. Okay. One is hypothyroid, one is hyperthyroid. In hypothyroid also, there are two types. So before explaining those two types, let me briefly explain you how a thyroid works. Whenever you do a thyroid function test, whenever you do a blood test, in that the thyroid function test, there are 3 values which are shown in the blood report. One is TSH, one is T3, and one is T4. TSH is a thyroid stimulating hormone. It is the hormone through which your brain communicates with your gland, thyroid gland. Okay, because they cannot speak, they communicate through hormones, and TSH is the hormone through which brain is communicating with the thyroid gland. This thyroid gland, once it receives the message from brain, it produces a hormone called T4. T4 is inactive. It goes to the liver to get activated, and it gets activated as T3. Once T3 is produced, your brain gets the signal that work is done. So your brain sees how much T3 is produced. If it is within the range, the action is completed. If it is not within the range, if the T3 produced is less than what is required by your body, your brain will again send signal to thyroid that you have not done your work. So again, TSH increases in the body. Now here are two ways in which your thyroid can get affected. Firstly, your thyroid gland did not produce the T4 hormone which is required. And second issue is thyroid is completely fine. It is producing T4 hormone perfectly fine, but your liver is not functioning well, and hence it did not convert T4 to T3 properly. So many people, they don't understand where the problem is. Through your blood reports, we come to know where the main issue is. If your main issue is liver, then recovering from thyroid is relatively easy. Okay, once your liver starts functioning well, T4 to T3 conversion will increase and your thyroid issue will get solved. The second issue which I talked about, in which your thyroid gland is not producing T4 hormone, this is called as Hashimoto's thyroid, and it is an autoimmune issue. Your thyroid gland is not able to produce hormone because it is under attack. Your body is attacking itself. Okay, and this is called an autoimmune issue. If this issue is there, then there are some additional tests which we tell people to do, basis which we come to know how much gland is destroyed by the body because of its attack. If the destruction is not major, it can be completely reversed. But if major of the gland has been, attacked, we can control the situation and prevent the further damage. Okay, so it is very important to understand where the main issue is, and basis that, take measures. Taking only Thyronorm will not solve your thyroid issue. Okay, it is just an external hormone which is just suppressing the symptoms. Till the time you take the tablet, everything will be fine. The day you stop having that tablet, things will start becoming worse. Okay, this is not to scare you. This is just a general awareness which we are trying to do, that things can be reversed because of diet modification. Okay, and now what does research say? Many people might know this, that the type of fruits and vegetables which we are eating nowadays and the ones which our grandparents ate, there is a huge difference between these types of food because of agricultural practices, the industry, the chemical fertilizers, pesticides being used in that, because of which we are not getting the right amount of antioxidants which our body require. Like Piyush explained the concept of oxidative stress, there are free radicals in our body which are causing damage. These free radicals can be neutralized by having antioxidants, and we get antioxidants through vitamins and minerals from fruits and vegetables. But because of this declining quality of fruits and vegetables, our body is not getting the required amount, and hence many people are suffering from health issues nowadays. Okay, and this is one, a study conducted by Sun Pharma which said that metformin, which is a tablet which people take in diabetes, is a carcinogen. Like if you take it for a long number of years, it can lead to these things. Okay, so having these tablets is not the solution. Now, how to prevent this? To improve the existing scenario, okay, people who are not suffering from any issue as of now and they want to maintain their health, this should be your ideal energy breakup. Throughout the presentation, I talked about people are having too much of food which is high in glucose. Body doesn't have this capacity to store the glucose. So what you should eat? And what do I mean by glucose? Okay, all the foods which easily get converted into sugar in your body, those are glucose type of foods. Okay, so for example, normal white sugar, honey, all these things are glucose type of foods. Those are carbohydrates. Second type of macronutrient is proteins. Proteins you get from dal, protein, people who eat non-veg, then for them eggs, chicken. For vegetarians, dal, paneer, tofu. These are sources of protein. And what are fats? So basically fats is oil, ghee, almonds, walnuts. These are all fats. So 40 to 45% of your energy should come from carbohydrates. 30 to 35% should come from proteins, because proteins are the building blocks inside our body. And 25 to 30% should come from fats. Eating fats will not make you fat. People think if I eat ghee or butter, I'll become fat. This is a myth. You're eating it with what actually decides whether it will make you fat or not. If you're eating butter with bread, then this is a big no. But if you're having butter with a salad bowl, then it's a big yes. It will do good to your body. Ghee is very good if you are having it with the right thing. Okay. If you combine fats with instant energy sources, then it starts leading to gain in weight. But if you eat it the right way, fats are very good for your body. So this type of energy breakup is recommended for people who are not suffering from any health issues as of now. They want to maintain their health. Along with this, some basic micronutrition which you're not getting from food. These two things will actually help in maintaining your health. Okay. And so these are the few testimonies of the people whom we have helped. It's a short video. I'll just quickly play this video. Okay. So, this is just a short video. We have helped many people, but just to pick a few testimonies of each and every health issues which we have helped around. So things are possible through diet, and that is the message which we had to convey to you. And now what are the actionables for other people? Okay. Diet modification. If you are someone who is suffering from any of the health issues which we explained, okay, fatty liver, thyroid, diabetes, and you want PCOD and you want a one-on-one guidance, then basis your current reports, basis what all health issues you're suffering from, we can help you in recommending diet as per your health issues, your current lifestyle. Okay. And secondly, addition of antioxidants. It is very important that you add more antioxidants. Have colorful fruits and vegetables in your meal. The color of your fruits and vegetables tells what type of nutrition you're getting. Like, my parents used to tell me, have more of green vegetables when I was small. Now I understand why they focused more on green vegetables. Green color signifies something. All citrus fruits, lemon, orange, all these are rich in vitamin C, amla. So all these yellow orange shades are rich in vitamin C. Green color fruits are rich in a particular vitamin. So color determines what nutrition is there in the food. Include more colorful fruits and vegetables, different colorful, if you're having, suppose, green vegetable today, then try to go for different color salads in your meal plate. And this is how you'll get more amount of antioxidants in your diet. Have more of vitamin C rich foods, like which are yellow, orange in shade, and have a mix of all different color fruits and vegetables. So these are the actionables. Now we will open the forum for questions. People who have any questions on whatever we have explained will be very happy to answer those questions for you. And those who want to reach out to us and they want personal one-on-one guidance with us, this is our Biomark website. You can just fill in the lifestyle assessment form, and within 24 hours we'll reach back to you. And a very nice quote which we feel: those who survive are not the strongest, not those most intelligent, but those who are adaptable to change. Okay, people who survive are the ones who adapt to the change. They are not the ones who are the strongest or the most intelligent ones. And that's it from our end. If anyone has any questions, you can let us know.
Thank you so much, Shrutika ji and Piyush ji. Wonderful, excellent session. I would like to point out a few things. One is, you use lots of good analogy, okay, for a common person to understand, a layman to, I'm not into the field of medicine, but I thank you so much that the way you presented, the graphics and the way you use the analogy, right? I heard, the next door neighbor and, quite a few of them, a great way. So yeah, definitely commend you for that. And let me ask, the first question. So on your slides, you concentrated on few, right? I think, I mean, if I remember, you showed how, the cell functions, then, the thyroid and the liver, right? And I think one more. So what percentage, if we say 100%, right, of our modern day ailments, okay, physical health and nutrition. So what percentage would comprise, of the total problems?
Okay. So basically, one girl out of every 5 girls, they are suffering from PCOD issue. Okay.
Okay.
And the root cause for diabetes, PCOD, okay, all the major issues is insulin. And many people are suffering from this issue of insulin. The difference is that till the time we realize it, the things become, very severe. That's why we recommend people to do a full body health checkup once every year, so that it doesn't have to show on your body and then you go for health checkup and then things have been drastically impacted. And this is very shocking that, we personally have clients whose age is 13 or 14 years and who are suffering from thyroid. So the number of people who are suffering from this issues is increasing drastically.
Okay. Good. Now, hearing, obviously, you hear about the organic food more and more. You go to the grocery store and, organic, non-organic, organic, non-organic. So what, I think now, what I heard, the most of the ailments, right, because of the malnutrition or whatever you eat does not have that nutrition value. You may be eating a lot, but the value which you need is not there. So how important, that role plays if, one chooses between organic and non-organic?
Okay. So firstly, there are a lot of marketing strategies out there, right? Many people think that diabetic people think that having that sugar-free is a good replacement to sugar, but it is not. It is just a marketing strategy. Having sugar-free or sugar is one and the same thing. So if you are going for organic food, organic doesn't mean that chemical fertilizers and pesticides are not used. The amount of chemical fertilizers and pesticides used are less. Okay. Secondly, do check if it is certified organic food. Organic is a word which many brands can use basis, compared to this company, we are using less. So they have added this organic, right? But do check whether that is a certified organic company or not. If they have a proper certification of organic, then it is good compared to others. But just don't go by the brand headlines which people use. Like I gave example of sugar-free. Likewise, there are many marketing strategies for cornflakes, that cornflakes is easy to cook and healthy breakfast. It is not. Cornflakes is one of the main reason why people nowadays are suffering from these health issues. So don't go by the brand name. If they're organic, actually check the ingredient list behind and then decide.
Wow. Yeah. Very enlightening. Okay. Let me open the floor. I think there will be quite a few questions, so please feel free, unmute yourself and ask the question.
Hi, I am Anjali. As you told now, cornflakes is not good. I want to ask, is oats are good or not? We should have to eat or not to eat. In diabetes, many person says oats are good. So I am asking.
Okay. So if you ask me comparison between cornflakes and oats, then oats are better than cornflakes, specifically the rolled oats. Okay, oats also there are many types. So specifically the steel cut rolled oats are the best among all the oats which are available. And if you talk about diabetes, then what all other health issues are there along with diabetes, basis that we actually tell people what type of breakfast they should have. Okay. So if you are someone who needs a personal guidance, then do reach out to us. And if you just want to know between cornflakes and oats, then which is good, then definitely steel cut rolled oats are better.
Good. Comment from Lionel. Yeah, good explanation. Come on.
Even I have a question. I would like to know more about the journey, how it started, and maybe more about the personal side of the story of the biomed.
Okay. So yeah, like I'll tell my story and then, maybe Piyush can join in. So as, you got to know from my introduction that we are IIT graduates. So once our college ended and we ended up in an IT firm, I saw that many people around me, they were having some or the other tablets. Since I was fresh graduate of college, I was very energetic and enthusiastic that, I will do this, I'll do that. But people around me, they were not that enthusiastic. They were feeling very sleepy after lunch. The energy which they had, that was completely different from what I had. And I realized that this scenario is happening across all companies and all people who start working into IT industry or who basically adopt a sedentary lifestyle. And that is how we realize that something or other is a mismatch over here. In college, same type of food we were happening, but we were into sports. We used to walk a lot, right? These all things were there. So we used to digest whatever we were having. But when our lifestyle changed, our diet didn't change. We realized this, and that is how our community, got started, and I became, part of this. So, and it's been, 2 years after which we have deep dived into all these health issues, how everything is happening, and how from root cause we can actually cure these things. So this has been my personal journey.
So in my case, so even I used to be into sports heavily when I was in college. So, but when that time I used to realize, yeah, I was working a lot hard, I was doing everything, but I was still overweight. So that was the point where I realized something is not good, because I was having good amount of meal. I also take care of my protein intake as well, but it realized that like, something is not good because I'm still gaining weight. So that was the first thing I realized. I need something to change myself. So that was the point I started working on myself. But that is the first thing. But after that, what I realized, what everybody was needing this solution. So how did I come across to this? So even my father was fat, and he also I also held with the help of Shrutika, of course. So I used to know Shrutika in college days as well. Okay, so I helped my father when he got slim. I saw that everybody was shocked. How is this happening? Even we want the same solution. So we realized that in the market, there are very few people who understand what is health, and there are more number of people who actually wants health. So from there, actually, I started learning more and more about health. And at the moment, like my family is fit, and now I'm looking to help more and more families out there to get fit. So that is my part of the story.
Wonderful. So we will now move towards the most important part. I would love and request everyone to unmute, kindly unmute, and we will felicitate our guest speakers, Piyush ji and Shrutika ji. A big round of applause to both of them.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
In the virtual world, we have to felicitate also virtually. Yeah. Hope soon we will personally meet together. Yes. Thank you.
Sure, definitely.
Over to Bankim ji.
So next week, we will have Rajeshri ji Karwa presenting on the role of reconstruction yoga for good health. That is going to be on Saturday, 26th of March. And we will have Statin Mac. Oh, he's here. Thank you. Good. We'll present on sustainable tourism and yoga. Wow. Okay, this is a great topic. Absolutely marvelous. I think it will be very interesting. So that is going to be on Sunday, 27th of March. So yeah, please do join. I think interesting sessions. And yeah, with this, Shrutika ji and Piyush ji, I think before I, we end, I have one question. Nowadays, a tele, a doc, okay, that is, I think, gaining momentum. Do you have some sort of, because since, you are meeting, the global requirements and global needs, right? All over, have such a program?
Like, what is the name of the program?
Call it, tele a doc, which is gaining quite momentum here in US, right? That means, you have someone like doctor, right? Doctor in any corner of the world is available for, consultancy, right? So, that someone books the time, right? That 15 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes, okay? And then, you have the session happening over, phone or like, the Zoom meetings and, all other mediums. So that concept is gaining lots of momentum. So I just was curious, you have some sort of that concept, which will be interesting.
Yeah. So actually, I feel that when things have changed into online world, people have become more accessible. So like, since we are also in very close touch with your clients because things have changed into digital world. Okay, so we are available on WhatsApp, on our, we also have our official app, so we are available over there. But when physically things were happening, you will have to fix an appointment with, your doctor or nutritionist or anyone with whom you're consulting. And when you are following things what they have recommended, and if you have a question, you'll have to wait till the next appointment comes. Okay, you don't, that ease was not that, just quickly ask them over chat, or just call them and ask them that, I'm suffering, I have this doubt, and what I should do over here. So I feel that the positive side of this digitalization is people have become more accessible. The doubts are getting cleared very easily and very sooner, rather than, they have to wait for the next appointment and then they'll ask all their queries.
Okay, good. Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for coming. We will end our session with a small prayer, Shanti prayer. So close your eyes. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Okay. Thank you all for joining.
Yes. Thank you very much, everyone. Bye-bye. Namaste.